Hello everybody, this is Havoc and welcome back to Planet Coaster 2 and our theme park Mytholandria. Hope you enjoyed the first episode. If you have watched it, then you will know that we built our first little entrance here. It's a small beginning to what is hopefully a fantastic start to the rest of the game. So before we even start today's episode, I hope that you enjoy it. If you do, you can do things like give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, and leave your comments in the comments section down below. Now again, we just started some very basics entrance into our Greek side of things. And we're definitely going to expand into the Viking side, don't worry. But I do want to kind of get things up and rolling so we're not spending, 4 or 5 episodes boring you guys out and trying to figure everything of that sort out. So what we're going to do today, we're going to kind of flesh out the beginning here. We will get at least one kid-focused ride here. And then we're going to build down our staircase. And we're going to hopefully get some things rolling here, possibly a water park ride. We're going to see. But before we do, we need to get our facilities up and running. So that means, what kind of staff facilities do we have? It's just staff facilities. Is that it? Workshop. Okay, so it's just a workshop and the staff facilities. Is that all? So if I went into custom, I would see mechanic workshop and a staff building. Okay, fair enough. That's pretty cut and dry, simple. So what we're going to do here is I'm actually going to go ahead and we're going to get into the mythos side just real quick. There we go. And then we need to build not a double shop, but a double facilities here. Yes, that's what we need. So we're definitely going to do that. Let me go ahead and get a pathway ran through here just for the time being. We're going to go ahead and turn angles off because I do want to potentially curve this out just like right here. Just for now, that's all we need. That's all we're going to do. And in fact, what kind of paths do we have here? Do we just have one? Okay. Yeah, I was about to say we could do all sorts of different colors, but we're going to keep it right there. Cool. So what we're going to do here, like I said, we're going to get our facilities here. And we're actually going to poke this right on the edge here. Now that's kind of right off the cliff, so I kind of want to go ahead and do this. And the reason being, I don't want to infringe too much into the Viking side. And to be frank, I could just do it right here, which might actually make more sense. I don't know. Let's go ahead and do this. Let's smooth it out just a smidge. I do want a connection all the way over here, but we're into the Viking territory, and I really don't want that. So we're going to go ahead and do a small facilities for sure. We're just going to slap it right here to where it is out of the way. And then when we go into our facilities, we're going to create a custom and we're going to turn off our scenery. And we are simply going to do a mechanic workshop. Can I build deep? Would that be beneficial at all? We're just going to go ahead and say yes. And then a small staff building. And then, of course, we need pathways coming out of it. Nope, we definitely don't need it that big. And then we need to get our angle snap on just so it's nice and straight. There we go. That's all we need. Let's get into the 4. Snap onto there. We're going to worry about going just like that. And then we are going to go ahead and snap this around to meet, just like right here. I actually really don't like that angle. There we go. So that way it's just like really nonchalant. No one should look back here. No one should even be concerned about looking back here. But what we are going to do just real quick is I am going to put some things up just to kind of beautify it just a smidgen. All right, pretty cut and dry. Hopefully that'll satiate the facilities, and we'll be kind of right as rain there. All right, so what we're going to do, like I mentioned, is that we need to get at least one ride up and running on top. Now, right now, we only have 3 mythological flat rides. We have our mythological teacups, our mythology, the cube, and actually 2 different mythology, the cubes. One of those is kind of the Taurus bowl, I believe. And then the other one is Medusa, and I don't want that up here because I don't want it to scare the kids, long story short. Because this is, again, kind of a kids-focused area, just initially, anyways. So we're definitely going to do that. What would be hilarious was to kind of put that over there. We're not going to do that, but I think it'd be hilarious to do so. But what we need is... I really don't want their experience to just be looking at this, but I wish we could flip the entrance and the exit. It doesn't look like we can. So we're simply going to just put it right here, and we'll kind of shenanigan our way through it. All right, now one of the cool things is that this is teacups. We're going to call this My Little Unicorn, because it does have, I mean, that's actually a Pegasus, so I guess it'd be My Little Pegasus. I don't know how to spell Pegasus. There we go. We're going to call that. And then we're going to place the entrance. Oh, so I can modify it potentially? No, I can't. It does have to kind of go here. Now, admittedly, I could totally reverse this. I could go in and customize it if I wanted to. I think this will work. It kind of actually puts them back into the loop to where it'd be like, Mom, I want to go back and get ice cream after going through here. So that works for me, actually. I guess I can't complain. And then we do want the rustic hue 100%. And so since this is kind of the first of the rides in the park, I do expect a rather long queue line. And so we're definitely going to build as much as we can to handle quite a few people. And I really need that angle snap to not be so intense because I want to kind of follow this. There we go. Okay, cool. Well, that works, and technically we could just open it right now. I might actually do that just so we can get some revenue in, because one of the things we do have to remember is we kind of need money. So we're definitely going to want to do that. 4 is the least amount that I can do. And so let's go ahead. If you can't tell, I really like perfect circles and perfect angles there. But I think that works. And then what we can do here is we could open it up. But I really want to add some flair to it. I want to add some scenery around it. I want to add all the things. I honestly want to put up something here where the kids aren't going to like lose their flippin' flappin' minds, or so that some kid doesn't come in and ruin everything for everyone and jump off the cliff. If you know what I mean. You know those kids. We all know those kids. We're going to reset all filters. There should just be a basic fence that is mythology in nature that we can use. Nice. Nice. That actually will work pretty darn well, I think. So we're going to go ahead and work on that. I'm going to go ahead and open this up. And we can modify it as we go along. But again, I want to make sure that everyone really has a chance to work on it and to use it and to have fun with it, because that's what this is all about. So it looks like we already got a very, very full queue, which is fantastic to see. You gotta love it. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna probably flesh this out a little bit later, add some rocks back here to where we can really make that our hyper focus. Now there are some scenery minded things. For instance, I really want to come in here and I want to edit something. Let's go with our customize. We have all the T-sets that we can do. We could edit our trigger sequence, which is really cool. This is something I'm going to have to do offline to really figure out, because trying to have that figure out myself, I feel like I'm going to be a pretty flagging goofball trying to figure it all out. And I'd rather not waste that time on stream, on video, in order to make it happen. No, definitely something we could do here as a nice little entrance that I really do enjoy that. Very nice. And then something just kind of nice and fun and inviting. Just, again, this is a very chill experience as our first look into the park and to get all of that done. Now let's go ahead and add a couple. I want to get some rocks right here, mainly because I want to put some Pegasus on top of it. Now let's see if our scenery brush will work well there. Yep, that's too big. I think we're gonna have to do it ourselves. And then the button for this is extremely sensitive to undo. One of the things I kind of wish that would get toned back. Maybe it will once the game is out and the release is up and running, all those sorts of things. But I do definitely really want that to be done because, yeah, that was wild. Let's go ahead and get our rocks. We're gonna go into our custom, and again, we're gonna filter by our region to get the big white rocks that we want, so I can get the things that I want to do with them. All right, we have our rocks, and in fact, I could move that whole set just a little bit forward where it covers up. I don't like seeing the edge of this stuff of the pavement. There we go. All right, cool. And then we're gonna go over to our sceneries. We need to go with our mythology theme and see if I can't find, I don't know where our Pegasus is. There we go. And then we're just gonna slap little old Pegasus. Make sure we get our hoof right. There we are. It's a super simple thing to do, but again, it just creates a little bit of immersion inside of what we would need otherwise to make for a good little theme. Nice, okay. Well, I think this is worn off a little bit. We're gonna go and drop it down to $1.90. We have all of our stuff here. That's great. That's all good. Minimum load, 1/2. Minimum weight, maximum weight. Yep, absolutely. That all works. No music. Let's change the music. There we go. We're going to have it go there. Ride sequence clockwise and counterclockwise. All right, so this is what I mean by the cool little things that we could add. So if we were to go into here, now I'm not exactly sure how we can test this. Attach scenery. Ride will automatically close. Yep, sorry. That's okay. What we're going to do here is we're going to add a couple of ponies sprinkled throughout this. And we could quite literally add anything else that we wanted to. We could slap a big giant thing on top of all their heads if we wanted to. Now, what else could we do? Oh wow, we definitely don't want a running bull, the Minotaur, while we're going. That would be absolutely hilarious, but it's not going to work very well. I don't think that they would like it very much. But we could totally, like, these are a bunch of defaults. I really like adding this, some different style of pottery over here. We could totally add, well, we don't want it to be like that. We could add all sorts of things. Alright, so we made him go out, which is a little bit of a bummer. We need to test the ride real quick. But I didn't really enjoy quite the whiteness and yellowness, so I thought I wanted to change it up just a little bit to get people excited. Alright, how long does it take? How long does it take? There we go. We can open it up. Oh, come on. Sweet. Alright, we're going to open it up again. That's great. Now, what we really need to do is we're going to go ahead and edit this, and we're going to push this out. I'm going to move this right to the... Actually, no, we're going to keep that there. I am going to duplicate it and push it out on the edge, and then I'm going to get these guys. You can't have everything perfect, and that's okay. We could actually kind of squeeze this little bit out. Nice. That works out really, really well. This is a little funky. I don't know if I can... I don't think I can push it up. Intense. Small amount there. Doesn't look like it's going to work. That's okay. We can actually cover that up with rocks if we wanted to. And then we can kind of leave that there. I do want to get a little more scenery put in. This is a lot of slotting up and doing things. We're going to assign staff. Do we not have any staff? Okay, I guess we need some staff. Let's go ahead and get a janitor plopped in. We need a mechanic. We're going to get a, yeah, we'll have a vendor go in. We're going to have a ride attendant. We're going to have him go ahead and move in. And then what I really, really want is I want Crescendo Melodus to be wooing everyone. Okay, cool. Ride attendant is heading there. And then again, we need to get some scenery in here. Temperate Forest will probably slap right here in the back. I am going to make this very intense, but a small region. We're going to avoid paths. Get that going. We're not going to worry about avoiding paths. There we go. I love the tool. I love the tool. It works super great. And I know that said temperate, but that's okay. Oh, dense vegetation is some of my favorite stuff. I'm not gonna lie. Not gonna lie one single bit. There we go. Let's kind of get that all populated. All right, cool. People are back in. We're looking good. Everything's actually looking pretty darn great. If I love it. It's so much fun. It's so cool. We're gonna go ahead and get a couple of kind of ruined things here just to, let's see what we can't find for ruined assets. There we go. Very cool. We could probably add a handful of more scenery over here. Get some benches all along the way. Add a few more royal ones as well. Give people plenty of places to to stay, to sit, have a nice little chat. Get a couple more trash cans in and out of everywhere, so that way everyone's hunky-dory. Now, admittedly, we're probably not making massive amounts of profit. It looks like our entertainment, energy, hunger, we actually need a bathroom. And we're gonna definitely put that in the back, because I'm assuming we have toiletries. Am I right? Toilet cubicles, perfect. Well, we're gonna go ahead and we're going to get our blueprints in. We're going to get the same things here, and we're simply gonna slap that in right back here where it's out of the way, because yes, we're not gonna announce that there's toilets back here. And then we're gonna go over into our facilities, and we're just gonna slap a couple of toiletries, and then oh nope. No, we're not gonna charge anything for toiletries. All right, cool. Everyone's connected. We do need to just, again, add the little small pieces here. That's a little too big of a post, unless we can scale it down. We cannot scale it down. That is unfortunate, because this would be the perfect scalable thing. That's okay, though. We're simply going to let that exist for now. I'd have to figure out what we could put in front of it to make it work, because it's okay, though. It's fine. It's totally cool, except for the color of these guys. They do definitely need to be the... Oh, my word. There's so many little pieces and nuances. That works for me. All right, cool. So now at least people have a bathroom to go into. We have our first little ride, which we could definitely probably improve a little bit more. But we're not going to worry about it for now. Instead, what we're going to do is we're definitely going to get down into our piece here. Now, again, we're trying to be mindful of your time, trying to be mindful of everyone's time. But these are one of the deals where it's like, I really have to be careful for myself just making sure that I do this part right, because I think it looks great. Or will look great whenever it's done, but we definitely have to just really keep things in check here to make sure that I don't go bonkers crazy, while still really keeping the idea of the park in line. All right, there we go. That was actually much simpler than I thought it would be. I thought I was going to have to go into a long explanation on my justification for it. But again, a nice little tight, compact place, a wonderful place where kids can go. Speaking of that, let's go ahead and get into not our finances, attractions and shops, park options. I'm really looking for advertising. There we go. So wow, I wish I could speak. So it looks like we need to have daily returning guests of a lot more. What are the requirements? Never mind. Ride must be flat. Create 2 rides with a flat ride. Okay, that's relatively simple to do, I think. We could definitely work on that. But then we need to really give people an incentive to come down this way. Now, one of the things that I noticed in the game is that you could have a water ride that the water access to the park actually costs money, if I'm remembering correctly. I don't know that I want to do that, because I don't feel like that really fits with the theme of the park. Now, we could certainly have that, and maybe you guys could help me figure out if that's something you would want to see done. But for me, I think we stick with a couple of rides here, and then we get into maybe a smaller access, or not a smaller, but like maybe the center of this park area is the water ride conglomeration, and then these outer parts are kind of the more flat ride, and we can kind of mingle and mix that in. And so what I mean by that is, if we were to go over to our flat rides, we could see again, we have the Mythology Cube, Mythology the Cube, with our Minotaur setup here. Now, that's pretty darn cool. I like this setup a lot. I do want to make sure that we give ample room for it, and then again, start expanding over in that direction. So we are going to get our widest route. We are going to select our rustic path, and we're going to start, you know, potentially splitting off. I don't mind having the completely solid place here, but I do just want to start splitting as much as we can. So we can do a little split right there. And then one of the cool things is that, like, I could do something like that and add an extra area. But for now, I think that works. And then we'll get a smaller, but you know what I mean? Like something like that. But for now, this is actually going to work pretty well. I do wish I could curve that a little bit better. Now, one of the things, nope, let's just redo all of that. I am quite picky about how well this looks. That's actually not too bad. All right, cool. So we're gonna start. That's actually working pretty well. We're making okay money, I actually think. Park cash. Construction costs are, of course, going to be going down, but the income breakdown is that we're making a lot of money, and it's not costing us a ton outside of the, you know, the typical ride scenarios and things of that nature. So let's go ahead and build our second boyo over here. And we're definitely going to kind of work more on the mythological focus. We do have a lot of really cool scenery surrounding the Minotaur situation, which I think would be really, really cool if people like came right around this corner and there's just like a flippin' flappin' bull just right in their stinking face. So they literally come down, and this dude just comes screaming out, which I do believe he does. Am I correct? I know you want to, Mr. Bull. Let's take a look and see if we can't check out his sequence of events. There we go. Play once every 3 seconds? I say once every like 10 seconds. What does charge 3 look like? There we go. I think that's pretty cool. I like that a lot. And then we can kind of have that ride where they kind of have to go right past him in order for this to work out. Now, the only thing that really stinks about that is that this entrance would have to be really, really small. I don't like small entrances, but I also don't want them having to go like for heckin' ever to get that into line. You know what I mean? So maybe we make them come right past. That would actually be pretty cool. Okay, so I know what I'm going to do. We're going to hold up here. We're going to move this just a smidge. Do I really? There we go. We're just going to have to redo the whole thing. The cube also doesn't have enough power. We got to get more power into there. But I think what we're going to end up doing... Why is it being like this? The game is a little bit wonky right now. I'm not going to lie. But we're going to go ahead and, like I meant, let's get the Minotaur ride again. And I think we're going to place it... We're going to place it right by this. And then we're going to drop in that flat ride. And that flat ride is going to have the line where it then comes in and they have to go past it in order for... They have to get right up close to it, which I think would just add a really fun element. Place our entrance. Place our exit. I'm okay if an exit's really, really close. But again, so they kind of have to, like... They literally have to walk past this guy to go in. There we go. So a small step down. That's okay. Not really concerned about it, but I think that's just a really fun element where you're about to have to come into this, but you have to go through there in order for that to happen. And with that in mind, I'm going to actually delete this sliver. And we're just going to have this go straight forward. We'll eventually delineate when the time is right, but the time is not right now. And in fact, I really want to move that because it's not centered, but we'll be okay. I will be okay, I promise. Maybe. So we're going to do that. Let's go ahead and get our pathway. I mean, just straight up. It doesn't have to be crazy. There we go. And then let's go ahead. Oh, we have no power. That's right. So let's go ahead. I know what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and I'm saying go ahead too many times. We are going to add a staff path that does come back this way. Just a small one. They have to come back here. And then behind everything where you're not going to see, or at least not now, we'll expand over there. Oh no. Do we need to schedule a staff man? Oh snap, this is really cool. I'll get into this in another episode and we'll take a deep dive into it, but we're not going to worry about it for now. Let's go into our facilities. We need more power. And I think our power is enough. I think we only need a power distributor for now, and then we connect that all the way. Oh, nope, I goofed up. And then we can open that up as well, which means people are going to glitch through the stairs. And that's okay. That's not a problem at all. It'll happen. I have no issues there. We could priority pass. I just don't know about priority passes. That's one of those deals where it's like, really? How many people are going to use it? We'll still have it there so that way they can get right on and be right next to everything. That'll work for me. Hopefully people will come in and they'll want to enjoy this space. Let's go ahead and beautify it up just a little bit. And then one of the cool things that we could do is, well, I mean, we're not going to do a giant fire jet right here, but we could definitely have some elements of like a building burning or some smoke coming up, doing some crazy things. Again, this is not necessary. The flamethrower is really, really cool, but it's not necessary whatsoever, at least not right now. We definitely don't need glitter, but we can do lots of stuff. So for instance, I don't really like how little smoke that's creating. All right, cool. Well, unfortunately, it seems like our dude, what's he waiting on? Are there just is no one interested? Is that kind of the deal? Let's go ahead and drop the price to 10 bucks. See if that doesn't make things a little more appealing to people. Give them an incentive to want to come down into here. There we go. We're slowly going to get some people to come down into here. And then we're actually, what are we doing? The attraction prestige, the quality of the attractions in your park. Adding more prestigious rides will help. Unique attractions. Adding more attractions gives guests more fun things to do. All right, well, that's not a problem. I think eventually I'm going to have to brave it up, and we're going to have to actually build our first roller coaster. But that's not going to be today because we are almost out of time. But what I really wanted to accomplish here was simply to allow that to happen. Now, what we can start doing is we can start thinking about what we want to do for our flumes, excuse me, and our pools. We have lots of presets here that we could mythological up if we wanted to. A starter pool just for kicks and giggles, just right off the bat. We do have a flume pool, so we can kind of get an idea on what we want to do. And then again, mythological it up. It would be really fun to have, I don't know, something like a Medusa themed area. There is a Medusa flat ride here, which we will do our own little Medusa themed roller coaster as well. Already have that kind of in mind. It should be a flip and flap and blast. And then what we could do is we could go into our research here, which is going to be research. There we go. Now, how do we get research points? I guess is the biggest thing. That's not something they ever actually, I mean, maybe in the tutorials way down the line they try and teach you, but I don't know how we get research points. All of this litter around makes me uncomfortable. Place has great scenery. Okay, well, let's get a couple more staff, a few more janitors. I feel like we have trash cans in sufficient enough places to where that's going to work out just fine. But yeah, let's go ahead and kind of coast out what we want to do here. So my thought is there a water themed outside of the obvious of Poseidon, which there is a really, really great Poseidon thing here that I'm definitely going to use. And I think we may actually just incorporate this into the park in our pool section, as it were, because it's fantastic. And we could make him, I mean, disproportionately epic, right? One of the things that I do love about the scale is that it scales everything as much as possible, but it doesn't scale them quite properly. So what we have are huge, stinking ginormous assets, but they're all spread apart from each other, which is absolutely hilarious. So let's keep minding that. Let's just do that. Then in the next episode, we'll get into our water park, our water theme, because we do need to focus on that. It's a huge part of Planet Coaster 2. Just like that's a pretty obvious statement. So I feel like we could definitely rock it. But ladies and gentlemen, we're working and we're rocking and we're rolling, and we have some great rides already prefabricated for us that we've been able to customize, that we've been able to add to, and they, quite frankly, they look absolutely great. And I am super excited to see where it goes. Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be the end of today's episode. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. If you enjoyed the content, be sure to give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, turn on those notifications like I've always request that you do. Leave your comments in the comment section down below. Again, any rides that I think are really awesome, per your suggestions, will definitely be something I would be interested in checking out. So keep those down, keep those in mind. Thank you so much again for watching. This is Havoc. I'll see you in the next episode.